Federal Road Safety said 8 passengers were burnt to death in a fatal road accident that occurred at Agbede community along the Benin-Auchi road at Etsako West Local Government. The Edo Sector Commander of the Federal Safety Corps, Mr. Cyril Matthew, said this on Monday in Benin City. Matthew said eyewitnesses' accounts revealed that the accident occurred on Sunday when a truck descending the Ewu Hill from Benin towards Auchi expressed brake failure and crashed into several vehicles trapped in traffic. He said the crash involved 4 vehicles, including 2 tankers carrying diesel and petroleum products. Based on reports from witnesses, one of the tankers lost its brakes while descending the hill and rammed into other vehicles, sparking a fire, he explained. He further disclosed that 2 people died on the spot, while 4 others were rushed to the hospital. After the fire was extinguished, he said emergency respondents recovered 7 bodies, which included the 2 that died on Sunday. Tragically, one of the injured victims, succumbed to his injuries on Monday morning, bringing the total death toll to 8. I know you'll be wondering, Barrister Ferdinand, why we had to discuss something like this. Well, this is because if we check from the beginning of the year up till now, there has been actually, if we can say, a death toll of this similar incident. We can talk of Niger State, Enugu, the incident of tank explosion, even Delta State. And oftentimes we cannot say all of this and not talk about death that gets lost in this incident. And most analysts that have come here to discuss stories like this always put it on bad road construction and probably poor maintenance of those vehicles that they use to export this fuel and all of that. Poor maintenance of the tankers that they use to export this fuel could be one of the reasons why there's this consistent issue of tank explosion, crashes and all of that. I don't know if it has gotten to the ears of the government yet in order to do something concerning this. I'd love to get your thoughts on this, please, what you think could be done in order to eradication is actually the right word to use on this instance.
Yeah, let me preface my contribution by extending my deepest sense of sympathy and condolences to the family of those that lost their lives, and also pray that God grant their souls eternal repose. It's most unfortunate that this has to happen this so much number of times in 1 year, and not like it's not been happening years before. Okay, well, the thing there is that I think the government agency responsible for safety on our roads, being the Federal Road Safety Corps, has not really done enough with respect to these incidences of tanker crashes on the road. This has happened so many times that there could have been some quick fix, and one of which many people have called for is stopping tankers from plying the roads during the daytime. All these long articulated vehicles, stopping them from plying the road during the daytime can be a quick fix. So if such a truck had if the system had been so regulated that trucks can only run a certain time of the night, let's say from 11 p.m., I don't think that number of casualties would have occurred if brake had failed. That's one. Secondly, I think the Federal Road Safety too has also not been doing enough in terms of enforcing compliance to roadworthiness of some of these heavy-duty and articulated vehicles. Okay. They center more on smaller cars where they go after commuters and drivers who ply smaller vehicles, and then maybe sometimes we hear reports of them, of people being extorted, you know. And then this, so many times you driving on the road, you see big truck driving with so much smoke, you know, coming out and blocking other road users. The smoke is so, and then you're wondering, where are the road safety people? And they will even pass them and continue going. Okay, so if they make traffic offenses, like it's a strict liability offense where it just happen and then you pay heavy money to government, I think some of these things can be curbed.
Okay.
If a truck, because of failure, because of lack of roadworthiness, is breaks down on the road, the owner is made to pay heavy amount of money, no matter what the cost is. I think it will be able to contain this habit of putting on roadworthy vehicles on the road to cause this kind of havoc. So I'm suggesting to the Federal Road Safety to come up with a policy of regulating tankers and big articulated vehicles from plying, plying only at certain hours of the night, so that when calamities of this nature do happen, the casualty will be very, very minimized.
Okay, thank you on that, Barrister Ferdinand. I'm going to cut you short a little bit, and I also appreciate your analysis. I will not dispute that, actually. You talked about first off, you talked about a regulation whereas these tank drivers will be allowed to be on the road from 11 p.m. to probably 6 a.m. if the case may be. And you also talked about the road safety personnel not being on the road at the necessary time they're supposed to be. Even times where they're on the road, they do not do their duties, their core duties, which is checking of this tank drivers and the ones that exhume smoke, that expel smoke from their cars, disturbing the environmental awareness of the individual. And if we have to go back to making sure, since the road safety are actually not doing their work, what's the possibility that when these tank drivers are allowed to drive at night, that the securities are guaranteed? Because as it may, if you check in the north, the issue of security is something we're still trying to grapple with. We're still trying to see how it gets better. To a point where it's not totally curbed, but reduced to the barest minimum. You know, if we come back to allowing these tank drivers move at night, what is the possibility that the securities are actually guaranteed in that instance?
Yeah. The beauty of government is to secure lives before and then properties, but life first before properties. So safety of lives before security of properties. Okay, so if a tanker, a truck carrying tankers and trucks usually carry ferry goods like products, not human beings. So if there is any security or safety concern, it will be with respect to properties, not to lives. Okay. So you'll be saving if you regulate and insist that articulated vehicles ply the road in the night or certain hours of the night, from certain hours of the night, you will be saving lives more than saving properties. Okay. Which I think lives first than properties. Okay. If what was reported was that so much amount of goods worth billions was destroyed yesterday because of that crash, it would have been better than hearing that up to 8 human beings lost their lives. There's no amount of goods that is worth the life of a human being. Okay. Much more, talk more of 8 persons. So I think the emphasis should be on saving lives than property. Lives first before property.
Okay. Well, that toll, if you may recall, I'm sure it's getting to 100 from the time that it's been recorded from January up till now. Yes, because we've had like 86, and I think that was in Niger State or one of the northern.
And you see, these things happen in the daytime. Because in the daytime you have more traffic of human beings, human traffic on the road. than the night.
Okay.
So if it happens in the daytime, the likelihood of human casualty will be high than if it happens in the night.
Okay.
And for how long? But my concern here is that these things keep happening. Not even one measure has been taken as a response to the upsurge of these occurrences. Everything just see as it happens until it happens again. Well, how long will it going to happen until we start hearing a response from government? The relevant government agency here is the Federal Road Safety Corps.
Okay, thank you on that. We've talked about the issue of safety. How about because the truck that actually collided with the other vehicles, according to the story, failed brake. Yeah, so how about also the individuals that own these tankers, they probably improve on their maintenance measures, you know, in order to check that most of these tankers are properly checked before they allow them be on the road.
I can assure you they are not being checked. Most of these trucks, they are not checked. That's why most times you go to the road, you see any small hold up, you see a tanker just spoiled. They start fixing it on that road. Yeah, because they don't check it. And because there's no consequences for this breakdown. And it means you suffer a huge consequences. Let's say your truck breaks down on the road, you pay, and you are made to pay money. That's one, there's no excuse. Nobody wants to know what costs it. Just pay money. In most countries in the world, like Germany, as here, this start government generate revenue. Your truck or vehicle breaks down on the road, you pay money. For each minute it stays on the road, you pay heavy until government tows it out. Government tows it out, you pay so much, you don't pay, the vehicle is auctioned out. So that if that is regulated and kept, you see some of these truck owners will make sure that before you put your truck on the road, you make sure they are properly fixed and they are roadworthy. Because there will be consequences if they break down the road. If these things are enforced strictly, to the extent of raising more revenue for government, government will raise enough revenue from that sector. Secondly, people will be very much careful. Thirdly, lives will be saved, and number 4, properties will be saved.
Okay, thank you on that, Barrister Ferdinand.